Okay, what's going on? In this video, I'll be breaking down Andrew Tate's FireBlood supplement. So I'm going to break it down from a perspective, how does it affect your hormones, specifically your testosterone? I'm going to break down all the vitamins, minerals, and amino acids that are used in the supplement. So I have them all here in the ingredients list. I'm going to tell you whether these supplements work together, are they optimal, and what the supplement does right, what the supplement does wrong, and I'll get into it right now. So first of all, we'll get into the vitamins. So when it comes to vitamins, you want to divide them into fat soluble versus water soluble. The first 5 here, you have vitamin A, D, E, K1, K2 are fat soluble. So these are best consumed with a fat source. And the supplement is a powder. So just that, the absorption rate of those 4 supplements won't be optimal, but let's get into them individually. So with vitamin A, I can say it's a good source, retinol, and this is about 3000 IUs, and it's okay. But most guys, what I've seen, they need 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, up to 100,000 IUs of vitamin A per day. And things are like liver are more optimal to accomplish that. And vitamin A is super important for you to produce optimal testosterone levels because your body takes vitamin A, LDL cholesterol, and T3 active thyroid produces pregnenolone. And from pregnenolone, you can produce testosterone and things like that. So this is super important. I think it's just underdosed, and naturally you'll need more per day. Another thing I want to say about the supplement, which they do well, is they don't have a proprietary blend. When you see big influencers making supplements, they usually have proprietary blends, which means they tell you what's in the supplement, but they don't tell you how much. So at least they tell you how much they have. Next, we have vitamin D, and this is 4,000 IUs. This is okay. Most guys will benefit from 5 to 10,000, even 20,000 IUs per day, depending when they're living, where they're living, and if they have a deficiency and things like that. So this is all right, but also it's a fat soluble vitamin. It would be best if it was consumed with a fat source. Next, we have vitamin E, and this is about 67 IUs. And when it comes to vitamin E, the intake that you need per day depends on how much polyunsaturated fats you're taking in, how much PUFAs you're burning based off of if you're in a caloric deficit and things like that. So vitamin E is more individual, but the intake here, 67 IUs, is okay. Next, we have vitamin K1. I don't really recommend K1 supplementation that much. I'm more into vitamin K2, which in this case, you have about not that much. So 1 milligram is how much I would recommend if you're, let's say, supplementing with aspirin. And 1 milligram is 1000 mcg. So this is just 0.12 milligrams of vitamin K2, which is not that optimal. I would naturally just take in more. And same with this one. You want to take it with a fat source. Next, we have vitamin C. I'm not a big fan of vitamin C supplementation, especially when you get down deeper into like pink Himalayan salt, which he has in this supplement, which is high in iron, and vitamin C increases iron absorption, and iron is not a good thing. We have too much iron in our diets. Everything's iron fortified and things like that. So this combination is not optimal. Also, one note I want to make is he put everything, all minerals, vitamins into just one container. And when it comes to that, you can even just Google it. Different supplements, vitamins and minerals have synergy with each other, so they work together, or are not in synergy, so they work opposite to each other. So for example, vitamin C works with iron, but you don't want more iron. Vice versa, when I have clients that eat iron foods, let's say they eat rice or they're eating meat, I recommend to have caffeine with it or coffee because it prevents the absorption of iron. So that's that. Then you get into the B vitamins. Overall, based off of the analysis that I made, it's pretty okay. When it comes to B vitamins, they're water soluble, which means if you consume too much, you're just going to pee them out. And that's why you might get like yellow pee, luminous yellow pee. And that means that your body's not absorbing it and you're peeing it out. And the doses that he has here, maybe the B12 is a bit low, but besides that, overall is okay. And it all goes back to also if you're deficient. The only other thing is vitamin B3. I would be more prone to using niacinamide because it lowers free fatty acids within the brain, and which that allows for proper glucose utilization, dopamine drive, and things like that. B vitamins are somewhat okay. This is B5 right here. Biotin is B7 and folate is B9. Next, let's get into minerals and electrolytes. So when it comes to minerals, you have micro minerals and you have macro minerals. Macro minerals are things like electrolytes, so magnesium, potassium, sodium, and calcium. And micro minerals, you have things like copper, zinc, selenium, iodine. Here, he has choline, which would be more so in the vitamin section. It used to be known as vitamin J, I believe. You have that in eggs. The 100 milligrams is okay, but usually I've seen 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams works better. Next, we have potassium. Usually potassium you get from fruits and things like that. The intake is pretty low, 100 milligrams. Usually things like 3,500 is better, which you get from orange juice and things like that. Chloride, I wouldn't supplement with, and he gets it from pink Himalayan salt. Like I said, the pink in the Himalayan salt is iron, and we already have too much iron in our diet, so this is not optimal. Calcium, very low dose, 50 milligrams. Like I would be more into 2,000 per day, 3,000, 4,000. And this is based off of ratios based off phosphorus. So if you're consuming 1,000 milligrams of phosphorus, which you're getting from nuts, which you shouldn't eat in the first place, but let's say meat, you want to get at least 2,000 calcium. So this is pretty low. Then you have magnesium biglycinate. So you see these end with ATE. Another thing I noticed with his supplements, he does use the better versions of the supplements, which end with ATE rather than IDE, like oxide, which usually is not good and not bioavailable. But when it comes to magnesium, 100 milligrams, it's okay. It's not bad. When it comes to magnesium, your ability to absorb magnesium and hold on to it boils down to your thyroid, because thyroid retains magnesium and potassium within the cell. So this is somewhat good. Zinc, when you get to like things like zinc, copper, manganese, selenium, you need to be extremely careful because the excess consumption can lower your testosterone and hormones. And I see a lot of people supplementing with those without never actually checking if they're deficient. So they're supplementing with those and they're creating bigger problems, especially with this. So zinc biglycinate, which is nice. The dose is pretty good, 11 milligrams. You can do 10 to 30 milligrams a day. And then you have copper biglycinate as well. But with this copper, this is only 0.45 milligrams. And when it comes to zinc, every 10 milligrams you consume, you deplete 1 milligram of copper. So this supplement in and of itself will create a copper deficiency. And the copper doesn't take into account this. You need enough copper to make up for the zinc and more for its own functions. So this is not optimal. Manganese is okay. Depends on your deficiencies and things like that. Selenium, same thing. Depends on your deficiency, whether you're deficient, things like that. Molybdenum, I don't really supplement with that unless you really know that you're deficient. Iodine, not a big fan. I've had clients who had major issues with depression, anxiety from supplementing iodine. Even Ray Pete mentions how iodine supplementation can suppress the thyroid and things like that. So I would not supplement iodine. Next, we have sodium. So he has 40 milligrams just in this, but a recommended dose would be about 60 milligrams per kilogram. So if you weigh 100 kilograms, you need 6,000 milligrams and you're just getting 40 milligrams and it's from pink Himalayan salt. So it's not optimal. So these are minerals and electrolytes. Next, let's get into amino acids and other compounds. From Ray Pete's standard, this here, he doesn't really talk about it. From what I've done the research, it's good for collagen synthesis, things like that. So I'm not going to comment too much on this. But the amino acids, so amino acids are, so if you have one protein, you can get protein from your eye, from your muscle, from your skin, and protein gets broken down into different amino acids. So your eye would have different amino acids, your muscle would have different ones, and muscle would have high amounts of tryptophan versus your skin would have more, or your joints will have more glycine, for example. And you have essential and non-essential. Essential is things that you must get from your diet and your body can't produce it. Non-essential is things that your body can produce within the body. So the ones here in the orange are the amino acids that you need to get from the diet. And I think it's best to just get it from the diet rather than a supplement. And when it comes to things like L-methionine and tryptophan, these are extremely bad. Like you want to go out of your way even when you're in your diet to stay away from them. And if you're having them in the supplement extra, that's going to increase serotonin, decrease your testosterone. There's studies on this, how tryptophan low diets increase testosterone levels. Then you get into things like glycine, which is good. Great that he has it there. Proline, good as well. Taurine is good as well. So when it comes to the amino acids, he done well with that. So what does Ray Pete have to say? So I took all of these ingredients, and I broke it down into Pete AI, and this is what he would say about the supplement. So in short, Pete would see this as better than most multivitamins formulas because it avoids PUFA oils and includes glycine, taurine, but he would still be cautious about the isolated amino acids, tryptophan, methionine, histidine, things like that, and the potential overdosing of some B vitamins and minerals. His preference would be to get most of these nutrients from fruit, milk, cheese, fruits, shellfish, liver, gelatin, coffee, orange juice, coconut oil, with only targeted supplementation like niacinamide, magnesium, vitamin K2, aspirin, thyroid, etc. when truly needed. So when it comes to this supplement, you can get a lot of these things from your diet, and you can get even into other things like the purity of the supplements. Does it cause digestive issues? Things like that. So the good things that he's done is he used the good quality versions of the supplements. So he didn't cheap out on that. He showed you what the ingredients are. Some of the things are quite solid. But personally, I would prefer to get it from the diet. And yeah, if you have tried the supplement, comment down below what you think. And yeah, hope you enjoyed, and God bless.